Good afternoon, grade 8. How are we doing? Awesome. I'm happy that you're doing well. Now, I am Miss Campbell and I will be with you for today. It is indeed my pleasure. Now, what did we discuss in previous lesson? What was our main focus? Onomatopoeia. Awesome. And share some examples with me. Croak. Roof. Yes. Anything else? Bang. Anything else? Buzz. Ring. Awesome job. Now for today's class, we will be focusing on something else, right? It's still a figure of speech, but which do you think we're going to focus on today? All right, you're thinking? Not a problem. No, indeed, we are going to focus on, let me share the specific objectives with you, and then you will decide. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you as per usual. Ensure that you pay attention. Now, remember, just before I do that, ensure that you have your laptop charger, your phone charger, whatever it is that you need, because we are jumping right into our session. All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you as per usual, and then we're going to focus on our specific objectives for this session. Now, for our specific objectives, by the end of this session, you should be able to define alliteration. Yes, we're focusing on alliteration. We're going to describe how alliterations are used in writing, and our third objective, recognize and identify alliteration and use it in your writing. So those are our objectives for this session. I'm going to show you a little tongue twister, right? I'm going to show you what I want for you to focus on. Now, when I show this to you, I want a volunteer to read it for us. Yes, a volunteer. So here goes. Peter Piper. Who's going to read it for us? Deshaun, go ahead. Peter Piper picked up a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. Continue, Deshaun. Continue. We're listening. We're all listening. All right. So who would like to help Deshaun? Go ahead, Aline. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, where are the pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? All right. Thank you there, Deshaun and Aline. What do you realize? What do you notice from this tongue twister? What have you realized about the sentences? You want to reread it? All right. So it says Peter Piper, right? Peter Piper. Now, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where are the pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Now, what do you realize about the sentences? Any one of us? All right. Yes, repetition of words. The same letters of at the beginning of the word. All right, awesome. What do you think about this tongue twister? You liked it? All right. It is really a tongue twister, right? Deshaun, you think you could read it now? No, miss? All right. So we're going to focus on our KWL chart. All right. So we're going to place our focus on that at the moment. Let me get my screen. All right, so it's coming up lovely. So in the meantime, as it comes up, right, I want for you to go ahead and think about alliteration. What is it we really know about alliteration? What do we want to know? Yes. So let me get my board. I think yesterday's class was just perfect onomatopoeia with these roosters, right? Yes, Deshaun, it was. And funny enough, they weren't making the noise as though they should have yesterday, right? All right, so we're focusing on alliteration. What is it that we know? What do we know about alliteration? Let me change my marker here. So what do we know about alliteration? All right, it deals with the same sound. All right, let me get that. It. Deals with WITH, the same sound. All right, what else do we know? Anything else? Same sound. Anything else? So examples can be found in tongue twisters. Haha, you're thinking, right? You're playing that trick on me? All right, so examples can be found in tongue twisters. Okay, that's a good way to put it. Examples can, CAN, be found in Is it tongue twisters only? No, miss. So tell me something else. So you're saying it can be found in tongue twisters, yes? What else? Twisters, STER, right? All right, and poems, not a problem. Awesome. And let me change this and then write it better. AND and poems. All right, so anything else? Do we know anything else? All right, so what do you want to know? When we talk about alliteration, what is it that you want to know? Let me change the marker again. All right, so you want to know, say it again, what is its importance? Okay. My W wasn't, all right, that's better. So what is its importance, right? IMPORTANCE. All right, so what is its importance? Anything else we want to know? Someone is saying how to identify them. All right, so how to identify them. All right, anything else we want to know? No? Yes? Not a problem. All right. So when we talk about alliteration, you want to know what is its importance and how to identify them. All right. So we are going to place our attention on a short video. Now, when I show you the video, what I want for you to do, you're going to make your notes accordingly. Yes. So you're going to take note of the definition, right? What it means. You're going to take note of some of the examples and also the uses of alliteration. All right. So let's go. Let me allow the screen to be bigger. All right. So let's go. Alliteration. At Grammar Songs by Melissa. What is alliteration? More importantly, how can using alliteration make me a better writer? Let's get started. Alliteration is the use of repetitive letter sounds to create a poetic element when writing. The word alliteration begins with the Latin prefix al, which means to or toward. The Latin root littera means letter or script. So when using alliteration, an author is placing emphasis toward the letters being used. But why would anyone want to do that? There are different reasons, so let me explain. Tongue twisters are among the most enjoyable uses of alliteration, and one of the easiest ways to practice and understand what alliteration is. Most people have heard famous tongue twisters such as Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, she sells seashells by the seashore, and how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? The use of repeated consonants and digraphs adds strong rhythm to these tongue twisters, making them amusing and memorable. That's fun! Yes, alliteration can be fun. Famous children's author Theodore Geisel, better known as Dr. Seuss, used alliteration among other techniques to help young children learn to read. He wrote over 60 books in his lifetime, and his work is still popular among children today. But there are other reasons to use alliteration than fun. Many famous poets like Edgar Allan Poe, John Milton, Emily Dickinson, Robert Frost, and Maya Angelou used alliteration regularly as a tool to enhance the beauty of their writing and to emphasize particular phrases or feelings. Maya Angelou used alliteration in her famous poem The Caged Bird to create imagery, a visual picture for her readers. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees. A repetition of consonant sounds is used to emphasize phrasing within her poem. Alliteration is also used as a marketing tool because the repetition of sound can make products and businesses so memorable. You have probably heard of stores like Best Buy and Rack Room Shoes, hotels like the Red Roof Inn, and restaurants like Chuck E. Cheese and Dunkin' Donuts. The alliteration or repetition of initial sounds is apparent. There are examples of alliteration every day in products we see, like Captain Crunch, Krispy Kreme, Kit Kat, Coca-Cola, and Minute Maid, just to name a few. So we use alliteration every day. We do. And it's important to note that alliteration is the use of repetitive letter sounds when writing. Sounds is the key word here. That's why famous characters like Clark Kent and Lois Lane are both examples of alliteration. Since the hard C makes the same sound as the K, the spelling doesn't matter. So how can we use alliteration when we write? Great question. Let me show you. Alliteration can have a different impact on the text or a different experience for the reader depending on how it is used. As in a tongue twister, alliteration can generate rhythm. Mary made magnificent muffins on Monday. Although this original sentence won't win a Pulitzer Prize, the alliteration generates a catchy rhythm that stands out, making it memorable. Alliteration can be used to highlight certain words. Sally sourly sat sulking as she played with the peas on her plate. Sourly sat sulking and played peas and plate. Let the reader know that Sally doesn't like peas without really saying so, simply by emphasizing certain words using alliteration.
Alliteration can also be used to help create a mood or tone. Slimy snakes slither silently. Whether you're a snake lover or not, you have to admit that the repeated S creates a creepy, dismal type feeling. The repeated SL blend, along with the L and silently, creates imagery and a sense of movement within the writing. And finally, alliteration can be used to simply make writing funny. Stinky Stanley stunk since he sat upon a skunk. The ST blend and adjoining S's along with the rhyming create a bouncy fun effect. Poor Stanley. Alliteration stinks! That was silly! Alliteration is fun. I'm glad you think so. I can't wait to read your writing. Thank you for joining me at Grammar Songs by Melissa. Enjoy other related videos at grammarsongs.com.
All right, so I hope that you were making notes, right? So it says, what is alliteration? So I trust that you, let me go back there. Let me just scroll. All right. So alliteration, it says the use of repetitive letter sounds to create a poetic element when writing. Are you finished taking off that information? All right, and you got some of the examples? Farewell. So we're able to take this off the screen. So let me just minimize this and take it off. All right, so do we have any questions? Any questions, read this? When we talk about alliteration, do you think it is really fun? I don't know why these animals are making so much noise. And funny enough, they should have been doing that yesterday in onomatopoeia's class, right? But that's how it goes. No worries. No worries. All right. So let's get back to this. So when we talk about alliteration, right? So alliteration, as was stated, it is a literary technique. So when two or more words are linked that share the same first consonant sound, such as fish fry, right? So there you are having what? The F sound there, right? The right? The letter F is being used there. The sound, yes? So it is derived from the Latin meaning letters of the alphabet. And some of the examples which we shared earlier, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, and some of us were having a challenge reading it, right? Now, the thing about this, it can be fun. Yes, it can be fun. But if you don't know how to really roll the tongue and so forth, it is really a tongue twister, right? Yes, it is indeed. So, other examples which were also shared in the video. Now, Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Yes? Are you able to think of other possible examples? Are you able to think of any examples? No? Yes? I'm pretty sure that you're able to do so, right? So, some of the examples. Go ahead, Keshan. All right, so all Adam ate in August was apples and almond. I think I need to share some of these examples with you. Let me share my screen with you. I need you to see some of the examples. And I hope that you're listening carefully, right? So really of a fact, when we think of alliteration, we have to take note of what? The sounding there, right? The constant repetitive sound. So for example, let us look at some of these examples. Look at number 2. It says, Barry bought a book to bring to the backyard barbecue. So you see the letter, the B here, right? And it is used constantly throughout this sentence. Another example. Oh, just pick a random example that you would love for us to read. All right, number 4. So David's dog drunk dirty water down the dam. Wait, let me see that again. So David's dog drank dirty water down by the dam. Now that's the thing with the tongue twister. You have to be really paying attention. Sometimes even yes, I have to roll the tongue and really pay attention to it because it is really just repetitive sound there, right? The sound effect. And it tends to give you like a rhythm, right? So you get like a rhythm there. Yes, indeed. Another example, number 7. Look at number 7. The giant jumped with joy, right? Another example that we could look at, number 8. Hopefully, Harry's home will have heat soon. Number 5, even elephants enjoy eating eggs every day. So those are some of the examples. Even number 12, I like this one. Looks like lions love licking lizard. So if you realize that the letter, the L, right, the L, we're getting it constantly throughout this sentence, right? So what I really want for you to understand, what I want for you to take note of, when we talk about alliteration, right? We're paying attention there to the same consonant sound that we're getting, right? It tends to repeat itself, right? So are we able to do an activity? Any questions before we look at an activity? Any questions, any concerns? No? Yes? All right. Since there are no questions, it means that we're all clear. Am I correct? We're clear? So we're going to look at an activity. Now, for this activity, what I want for you to do, I'm going to give you a few minutes. You're going to research 3 sentences, right? Which you know contains of alliteration, examples, right? And you're also going to create 3 sentences on your own. So again, you're going to research 3 and then you are going to add 3 more to the list. So how many sentences are we supposed to have altogether? 6 sentences. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to give you a little time to complete that task. Maybe I need to set on my timer as well. All right. I really love to use my timer. I'm just going to give you about 4 minutes. Let's see who can finish this activity within 4 minutes. Where is my timer? Yes, Radine, I really love my timer. I know. I know, Radine. You know why I'm smiling? Because I think 4 minutes maybe be too much for you. I know, Radine. I know. All right. Nonetheless, so work on that activity for me, right? Now we are just before we wrap up that activity there. We are going to jump right back to our KWL chart. And then I want to see if you really understand what to do, right? So I want to see if you really understand what to do before you even do the task for me. I'm pretty sure that you're clear on the activity that you're supposed to do, right? But let's see what you have learned. I need to get my screen sharer. All right, so I think my screen is coming up lovely. All right, so what have we learned? What have we learned? All right, so Edgar Poe Allen. Oh, someone was taking note of that. Poe Allen. What about Edgar Poe Allen? All right, so he uses alliteration. Uses alliteration. All right, Alliteration. In what? All right, in his writing. Awesome. Anything else? Anything else? Beautiful. So it is our repetitive letter sounds, right? So alliteration. Alliteration is repetitive. T I T I V E. Repetitive letter sound. T-T-E-R. Letter sound when writing. Anything else? All right, beautiful. So it makes writing fun. Those are some of the uses, right? All right, so tell me about the uses. Makes writing fun. K-E. Makes writing fun. Anything else? All right, so it generates a rhythm. Awesome. I think we were listening. It generates. What's this? All right, so T generate rhythm. HYTHM. I hope the spelling is good. Yes, it is. All right, anything else? Can we recall anything else? No? Yes? All right, so now indeed you're able to focus there on your activity, right? So we've learned something about alliteration, which I really love that. So once more, it deals with what? The sound, right? So alliteration is really a literary technique when two or more words are linked that share the same first consonant sound. So now you're going to work on the exercise for me. I think time will not permit us to complete the task, but you're going to work on it for me. And for your assignment, what you're going to do, I will send you. Right, so for your assignment, I will send in the chat the link of the work for the worksheet that you will complete for me. All right, so for sure, let me just post the link immediately. All right, so you're going to work on that worksheet for me. And please be reminded that this will be marked. So if you don't complete it, then I will not know, right? I will not know if you fully understand what you're supposed to do. So ensure that you master the work and also the assignment. I've sent the link in the chat. Any questions, any concerns? Well, since there are no questions, no concerns, it was a good session here with you all, and I'm saying bye for now.